Every once in a while, a story surfaces that's so strange, so stirring, it grabs hold of your heart and refuses to let go. This isn't just another tale of friendship. It's a wild, unbelievable bond that began in the unlikeliest of places and became a timeless reminder that love truly knows no bounds. Prepare yourself. This one's going to stay with you. It all started not on the African savannah, but in the middle of 1960s London, specifically inside the iconic Harrods department store. Yes, Harrods. Back then, the store offered more than luxury handbags and high tea. It had an exotic pet section. And on what was supposed to be a casual furniture shopping trip, two young friends, John Rendell and Ace Bourke, stumbled into something far more extraordinary. There, nestled among cages, was a lion cub, wide-eyed, tiny, and completely out of place. In a moment that blended youthful impulse with deep compassion, John and Ace decided to bring him home. They named him Christian. What followed was a journey that would defy logic, cross continents, and ignite one of the most powerful human-animal bonds the world has ever seen. Bringing Christian home to their flat in Chelsea kicked off one seriously unique living arrangement. From day one, it was a wild ride, full of surprises, challenges, and moments they'd never forget, as John and Ace tried to figure out how to raise a lion in the middle of a busy city. And surprisingly, Christian took to it all pretty well. With his curious nature and laid-back charm, he settled right in like it was the most normal thing in the world. Christian grew up fast. He wasn't a little cub for long. Soon, he was a strong, young lion, but he never lost that gentle, easygoing spirit. Their garden turned into his personal jungle gym, and somehow, the streets of Chelsea became his calm little kingdom. With Christian around, everyday life felt a bit like living in a dream, like a touch of the wild, right in the middle of the city. It didn't take long for word to spread. People started talking about the Chelsea Lion, and soon, Christian was the star of the neighborhood. He wasn't just a local legend. He stole hearts everywhere he went and even caught the attention of the global media. But Christian wasn't just some quirky headline. He was living proof that something truly extraordinary can happen in the most unexpected places. Day by day, through every game, cuddle, and quiet moment, the bond between Christian, John, and Ace just kept growing. This wasn't just about looking after a wild animal. It was something deeper. It was built on trust, respect, and a whole lot of unconditional love. Christian wasn't just a pet, he was family, through and through. But as Christian kept growing, it became pretty clear. Life in cozy London wasn't going to work forever. The tight streets and little flat just weren't enough for a lion who was meant to roam free. As hard as it was, John and Ace knew they had to make a tough call, one that put Christian's future and happiness ahead of their own hearts. John and Ace were at a tough crossroads. They loved Christian deeply, but they knew that real love sometimes means making the hardest choice, letting go. They were determined to give him the life he was meant for, one where he could be wild, free, and truly at home in nature. So they started looking for a place where he could thrive as the lion he was born to be. Through it all, their love and commitment to his happiness never wavered. Their journey eventually brought them to George Adamson, better known as the Lion Man of Kenya. A true legend in the world of wildlife conservation, Adamson had dedicated his life to helping lions return to the wild where they truly belonged. With his guidance and incredible experience, John and Ace finally saw a glimmer of hope, a real chance for Christian to live the life he was meant for, out in the wild where he could truly be free. Saying goodbye in London was nothing short of heartbreaking. It was one of those moments filled with love, sadness, and deep sacrifice. As they got Christian ready for his journey to Africa, John and Ace knew they were making the right choice, even if it tore them apart inside. It was the ultimate act of love, doing what was best for him, even when it meant letting go. When Christian arrived in Kenya, it was like landing in a completely different world. Wide open plains, new smells, and the untamed rhythm of the wild. The cozy life of a London flat was behind him. Now, he was stepping into the life he was born for. It was the beginning of a whole new chapter, one filled with freedom, growth, and the journey of finding out what home really meant. With George Adamson guiding him, Christian began the challenging but essential journey of becoming a real lion. Bit by bit, he learned how to hunt, interact with other lions, and tap into instincts he'd never had to use back in London. It wasn't always easy, but it was incredible to witness. A powerful transformation from a beloved house pet into the majestic wild lion he was always meant to be. Over time, with his own strength and George Adamson's constant support, Christian didn't just adjust to the wild, he absolutely thrived. He found his place, grew into his instincts, and eventually became the leader of his own pride. From a cozy London flat to the vast African savanna, Christian had fully stepped into who he was meant to be, a strong, free lion living the life he was always destined for. Even as the years passed and Christian settled fully into his life in the wild, John and Ace never stopped thinking about him. That bond they shared was something special, something they couldn't forget. The longing to see him again only grew stronger. So eventually, they made the decision to go back to Kenya. Nervous, unsure of what they'd find, but hopeful. Hopeful that somehow their old friend would remember them, and that the connection they had wasn't lost to time. When John and Ace returned to Kenya, their hearts were full of questions and quiet worry. As they searched the endless plains, doubts started to creep in. What if Christian was truly gone, fully part of the wild now? What if he didn't remember them at all, or saw them as complete strangers? The land was vast and their chances felt small. But through all the uncertainty, they held on to one thing: the hope that their bond was still there, strong as ever. And then, something incredible happened. Christian appeared. He stepped out from the bush, no longer the playful cub they'd raised, but a full-grown, powerful wild lion. He moved slowly, eyes locked on the two familiar figures standing before him. The moment was thick with emotion. Did he recognize them? Or had the years and the wildlife erased everything they once shared? For a heartbeat, time seemed to stop. The whole world held its breath. What happened next was pure magic. In an instant, Christian took off toward them, not with fear, not with hesitation, but with pure, overwhelming joy. He ran straight into their arms, nuzzling them, purring like a giant house cat, wrapping them in the most loving embrace. It was a reunion that stopped hearts, melted them, and proved something truly powerful: that real love, the kind that runs deep, can survive anything, even the wild. Christian played with John and Ace with a gentleness that was almost hard to believe. Despite his massive size, he moved with such care, rubbing up against them, his huge paws soft and deliberate, like he knew exactly who they were. In that moment, one thing was crystal clear: love doesn't have limits. It can span continents, outlast years, and survive even the wildest changes. It was nothing short of a miracle, a living, breathing reminder of just how powerful true connection can be. Christian's story is a powerful reminder that the bond between different species can be every bit as real, and just as strong, as any human connection. It's a story about compassion, about the courage it takes to make selfless choices, and about the kind of friendship that never fades. His legacy is one of deep, unshakable love, a connection that knew no limits and continues to inspire hearts around the world. From a tiny lion cub in a London flat to the proud leader of a wild pride in Africa, Christian's journey is nothing short of incredible. His story is a timeless tribute to friendship, love, and the powerful bonds that can form across completely different worlds. Even today, Christian's legacy lives on, an inspiring reminder of the deep, heartwarming connections that make life feel just a little more magical.